When you think about data, it's easy to picture these endless spreadsheets, right? Just rows and columns of numbers. But what if you could turn all of that into something visual, something that actually tells a story? That's the whole idea behind data visualization, and that's where the magic really begins.
We've all heard this saying a million times, and it's a classic for a reason. A single image can get a complex idea across in a split second. Well, that same idea is an absolute game changer when we apply it to the world of data.
Okay, so 1,000 words is one thing, but what about a million data points? That's a whole different ballgame. How in the world do you find the hidden patterns, the weird outliers, or the actual story buried inside a massive data set? You can't just read it, you have to see it. And that is exactly the problem that a fantastic Python library called Matplotlib was built to solve.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with why data is a form of storytelling. Then we'll meet our main tool, Matplotlib, Python's very own artist. After that, you're going to create your first plot. We'll explore all the different charts you can make, see how to customize them, and finally, look at where this stuff is used out in the real world.
All right, let's dive into the big idea here. Data visualization isn't just about making pretty charts for a report. Nope. It's a tool for understanding. It's all about translating those raw, confusing numbers into insights that are crystal clear.
So a good visualization does a few really crucial things. It lets you instantly see patterns and trends, like, say, sales climbing over a quarter. It helps you spot the outliers, those weird data points that just don't belong. It also lets you present what you found in a super clear, professional way. And you can even automate it for daily or weekly reports. Pretty cool.
Okay, so now we know why we need to visualize data. The next logical question is, how? Well, let me introduce you to Matplotlib. It's pretty much the foundation for almost all data visualization in the Python world. So what is it really? Well, at its core, Matplotlib is this huge open-source library that gives you the power to create an incredible variety of charts. Whether you need a simple static graph for a presentation or a fully interactive visualization for a website, Matplotlib is the engine that can build it for you. Think of it like this. Matplotlib is the main visualization engine in Python's data science factory. It takes the raw materials from other libraries like numbers from NumPy and data tables from Pandas and turns them into a finished visual product. It is literally the visual backbone of the entire ecosystem. If you see a chart made with Python, odds are Matplotlib is working its magic somewhere behind the scenes.
All right, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and actually build something. You're about to see just how ridiculously easy it is to go from a few lines of code to a finished plot. Seriously, it's going to be quick.
Getting set up is a simple two-step process. First, you install the library with one command, pip install matplotlib. Easy. Second, you import the part you'll use most often, which is called pyplot. And by convention, we give it a nickname, PLT, just to make our code shorter. You'll see PLT everywhere.
Now, to draw something, we obviously need some data. We'll start with two super simple lists of numbers. You can think of the X list as the points along the bottom of our chart, maybe months 1 through 5, and the Y list as the values that go up the side, like, say, the number of sales. And here it is. This is the magic moment. With just this one single command, plt.plot xy, you're telling Matplotlib, hey, take my X and Y data and just draw a line that connects the dots. It's honestly that simple. And boom, there it is. You've just turned two boring lists of numbers into a visual story. That's the absolute core of what Matplotlib does. It takes data and gives it shape, giving it form, making it instantly easier for our brains to understand. So that basic line plot was cool, but that's really just scratching the surface. Matplotlib has a whole toolkit packed with different kinds of charts, and each one is designed to tell a slightly different kind of story. First up is the classic bar chart. This is your absolute go-to whenever you need to compare things across different categories. Think sales numbers for product A versus product B, or maybe the population of a few different cities. You just use the plt.bar function and give it your categories and the values for each. And the result is just instant clarity. You can immediately see that category C is the biggest and A is the smallest. You don't have to read anything, you just see it. That's what makes bar charts so powerful.
Next, we've got the scatter plot. This one's a bit different. Instead of connecting the dots with a line, it just puts a little marker at each data point. It's perfect for playing detective and seeing if there's a relationship or a correlation between two different things. Like do people buy more ice cream when the temperature goes up? A scatter plot will show you that relationship. And of course, the very familiar pie chart. Was all seen these? They're best when you want to show how different parts make up a whole, like the percentage breakdown of a company's budget or the market share for different competitors. Each slice is just a piece of the pie. Okay, making a basic chart is one thing, but making it look good and actually tell the full story, that's the next level. The real power of Matplotlib is that you can customize literally everything to turn a simple sketch into a polished professional graphic. Now, check out this comparison. On the left, we've got that first plot we made. It works, but it's pretty plain, right? It doesn't tell us much. But look at the right. With just a few extra lines of code, we've completely transformed it. We changed the line to green and put little circles on each data point. We added a title, sales over time, and labels for the axes so people know what they're looking at. We even added a grid to make it easier to read the values. See the difference? That's how you make data compelling.
So this is all pretty cool, but where do people actually use this stuff? Let's bring it all together and see how Matplotlib is making a real impact in all sorts of industries every single day.
The answer is everywhere. In data science, people use it to see how well their predictive models are working. In finance, traders are plotting stock market movements in real time. In healthcare, doctors use it to visualize patient data over time. It's used in education to help explain tricky math concepts, and in machine learning to watch how an AI model is learning. The applications are practically endless.
There's this saying that I think just nails it. It goes, NumPy gives you numbers, Pandas gives you data, and Matplotlib gives you the picture. It perfectly captures how these tools work together. You need the numbers and the data tables, for sure, but it's Matplotlib that brings it all to life and gives you the actual insight.
Look, at the end of the day, every single data set has a story locked inside it, just waiting for someone to find it. And with a tool like Matplotlib, you now have the key to unlock that story and share it with the world. So the only question left is, are you ready to be the storyteller?